How did you shift your, like, it sounds like you've always had a pretty good work ethic, but how did you shift your either your schedule or the way you worked like over the pandemic?
Um, I guess, I mean, I just like to keep myself busy. I I I did enjoy that like I could take a little bit more of a break because of the pandemic because I did like go so hard from like very early teen. So I had to stop myself from being a little bit lazy with content. And you could only do so much content in your apartment. So I mean, it was hard for sure. Now
People
it's
like, we've seen, we've seen, we've
you,
seen what
you
these walls look like. Yeah.
yeah, exactly, exactly. So I tried to like go to Miami and shoot and and all that kind of stuff. But I was like, I think it's just better for me to the fans like you when you're happy. So if that's the
Hmm.
same wall, it's the same wall. They don't want you, they can tell, I swear.
That's so interesting to me because like over the years, like yeah, I've met and worked with a lot of like adult stars, and sometimes I will talk to someone who I'm like, are they enjoying themselves? Like I've always had sometimes you get the feeling like the job feels like a job, but that's interesting. Like, will you get fans like messaging you, or maybe on OnlyFans they'll be like, hey, are you having an off day? Like, you think they're pretty perceptive of where you're at emotionally?
Oh, definitely. And I'm very upfront too. That way they know, so they can expect I wouldn't say I'm bipolar, but I'm bipolar. So I want them to know when I'm having a bad day. That way they can and they'll be so sweet. Like if you're having a bad day, they will really make you feel better. Most of them will. I mean, there's the ones like the trolls, right? Just on Twitter and Instagram, but those aren't fans. But I do have seen girls maybe not enjoying themselves too much, and I don't think. I mean, I wouldn't even do that at Starbucks. I wouldn't even stay
Yeah.
there if I'm not enjoying myself.
What do you think is the top cause of getting to a place where you're not enjoying yourself? Like, is it burnout or is it a lack of creativity?
Yeah, I think it's like you need to stimulate yourself, and some people don't know how to do that. They think other people will stimulate them, and I have to disagree. I think some people are more they like to either be told what to do or they, like to do whatever they want to do, and it takes a while to mature and figure out which one is you. Otherwise, you're just gonna you could only do the same thing over and over again before it gets tiring. That's like I said with anything.
Do you mean a lot of people wait for someone else to tell them what to do? Do you mean that like literally, like sexually, or do you mean that from like a creative standpoint?
I think I more mean creative.
Hmm.
Definitely more creative because it's when you get to set, there will be like, oh, here's your outfit or here's your script, and you don't necessarily get to say what role you want to play, and it's super fun to play a different role and to even like, you know, get a different name and whatever and work with someone new. But after a while, you want to pick the role that you want to be in.
Do you feel like there's anything that you would like love to do or haven't done at this point, or like are dying to do anything in particular?
Um, I, I would love to do more like cosplay stuff, and I just ordered a bunch of costumes to do that. It's something I haven't done before, and I know that's like very vanilla, but I've done like I've done like everything, so that's where my mind has to go is back down to vanilla.